Hey guys, Adam Winch here with Defenders USA. Hey, we have a pretty good treat here. I'm lucky to be able to bring this to you today. I happen to be teaching a concealed handgun course tonight in Silt, Colorado, and we're at the Congregational Church of the Valley here in Silt. So those folks were kind enough to give us a call to come in and teach this, and they're allowing us to use their building. So we're kind of on a church stage here. But the other thing I wanted to tell you about is we get to meet with Brent Hickmon today. Brent here is the owner and founder of Haven Defense Gear, which is the holster that I carry. He makes all sorts of holsters. I got a bunch of holsters here. You may not be able to see them in the camera angle, but I'll show them to you in a minute. But Brent can tell you far more about himself than I can. So, Brent, sir, thank you for coming, and thanks for being willing to talk to us on camera.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I know we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We haven't done this yet. So.
No, I haven't done this. So, who are you? Tell these people about you and your company. How do they find your company?
My name is Brent Hickmon, and I own and operate Haven Defense Co. Or Haven Defense Gear, but you can find all our gear on havendefenseco.com.
So CO at the end.
CO.
Haven Defense CO, one word, no spaces. Yes, so CO like company or Colorado.
Yep.
Okay, we are, by the way, Western Colorado. Brent here is based out of Glenwood Springs, Colorado, and I love buying stuff from Colorado, especially friends, good friends, and local. So, anyways.
So, we started about, 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had a class that we needed to take, and we just couldn't find any local.
What kind of class?
One of your rifle classes.
Okay, okay.
And then couldn't find any local places to get some gear for, I think it was a mag pouch that we needed.
Yeah, I think at the time I needed some mag pouches for my AR.
Yeah, well, it was for me too.
Yeah.
Because I needed them. And then, so we just looked into how to make some, and we did, and then it evolved from there.
So when you say you looked into it, you're talking the kydex stuff that you make?
Yep.
Okay.
So everything is based off of what's called thermoforming, which is basically a plastic. It starts out as a sheet,
Okay.
and then you get it to the Goldilocks temperature and vacuum form it, or there's other methods, but everything we do is built off of CNC in-house designed and CAD and molded and cut CNC machines.
Okay, so you have quite the process for building holsters.
Yep.
Okay.
We spend probably a good amount of time developing each model before we put it on the website.
You develop your models.
Well, the first thing we'll do is we'll scan the real gun, and then
On what?
on it's called a 3D scanner.
Okay, okay.
So we'll spray it, scan it up, and then we put it into the computer system
Okay.
and CAD up the model, and then everything is set up for basically the perfect retention, and all the controls and all that stuff is blocked out, so you're not getting hung up on that and all that kind of stuff. So,
So, been doing gun stuff for a long time, right? Excuse me. It's not the COVID. It's allergies. So, anyways, I've had holsters for a long time, right? I've bought literally hundreds of holsters as I'm trying to find holsters. And you gun folks, you know what I'm talking about, right? You got those 5 bins full of just stuff that nowadays you can't use anymore. Anyways, when Brent excuse me, when Brent started making holsters, right, I was able to get some of his very first holsters, I think.
yeah.
And, you know, they were good. Has it evolved over time?
Yep. They have definitely evolved.
A lot, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, every time I seem to get a new model from you, it's tighter, more precise, more, not tighter on the insides, but I mean, just the design is just better and better and better. It seems like every time I come to your shop, it seems like your machineries, you have more stuff all over the place for building these things, and it's newer and newer reiterations, it seems like.
Yeah. And, yeah, so we actually just put in a purchase order for a pretty big CNC machine, and then that's going to
Nice.
help us create aluminum tooling, because right now everything's
Okay.
based off of HDPE, which is basically a plastic itself, so it wears out over time. So now we'll be able to create our own aluminum tooling and have, a much more consistent product.
Okay, okay. So I want to show you some of the holsters we got here. He's got a couple he brought, but I'll show you some of mine. This one I'm pretty proud of. Brent's made a couple different holsters for me, and you notice he actually put the Defenders USA logo on there, so I'm pretty happy with this one. This one he built up for my Glock 17, and it also has a weapon light in there, so I have an X3000 that goes in here. Recently, I moved to a VP9 in the last year or so, and he built me, here's a blue gun, right? So he built me a blue gun. You notice the click when it went in there. Again, it's got my shield on there. By the way, our shield's getting updated here soon. But he had this shield here, and notice all you simply do is, this is a side carry or belt model, and notice the positive retention that goes in there. So it clicks in really well, and of course you can adjust that a little bit. But then he's got some other ones here. Let's say this one here, right? This is very similar to the one that I'm carrying right now. Lime green that he's built. It's a safety issue the way it's built here. He's got the steel clip on this one. I carry one that, if you can see it on camera, has 2 steel clips on there, and I think this is for your FN9? Okay, so this is a cleared weapon, right? Everything's open. There's nothing inside. It's, right, a cleared weapon. But anyways, this one right here, he's got set up so that it can, I guess I should pick that up, eh? Move this gun out of the way. So notice here, the good positive retention as it goes in. Good click, it goes in there. You turn it upside down, shake it a bit, nothing's coming out. And of course, a good, you can hear it as it comes back out. So this is one of Brent's handguns here. But so good retention on this type of thing, built for suppressor height sights. It's got the good wing on there. This one doesn't have a wedge on it, but I've had him put wedges on most of mine, in fact, all of mine. So he's got a good wedge that he builds up and puts on there. And of course, you can always have these customized however you want to. But I wanted to show you some of his holsters. This is a new one he just made. Again, a side carry for a strong side on the right-hand side. And of course, bright colors to the inside, so when you holster, you can see well to the inside. But you may not be able to see this, but got a pretty cool grayish camo pattern.
It's a black multicam.
Black multicam, so pretty cool looking deal. And the main reason I wanted you to see the one with our shield, besides just kind of shamelessly promote Defenders, is that he can actually you can put your picture of your kitty cat on here, right? A picture of your wife or your husband or pretty much anything on there. It's pretty artistic, very fancy design, so I wanted to show you his holsters here. So I've had the opportunity of running some of the world's best holster makers, right? Of the holsters I carry. Just phenomenal. The big names all the holster world wouldn't recognize. I'm finding your stuff is compatible. It seems like you've put a lot of effort and work and research into building these to be as the best you possibly can make them, right?
Yep, that's pretty much all we can do is to try and create the best product we can. And then a lot of the design and implementation goes into with some of the training with you too.
True.
So we get a lot of feedback from you and people that you work with on the crew, like Russell and stuff.
Yep.
So that definitely helps develop some of the ride height and adjustability that we offer. And we always go to the best clips we can find, the best wings we can find, and that's mostly all outdoor stuff. But
the cool thing of working with Brent here is I've been able to take holsters he's had me T&E, right, test them out, and I've been able to go to the range and find little tiny nuances or maybe a way that I like it a little bit better than somebody else, and I'll call Brent up or take it back to him and say, hey, can we do this tiny little thing here? And every time without fail, there's been some modification to some way I like it, or it sounds like sometimes you've even incorporated those little ideas into your own designs.
Yep, pretty much. And we're getting to the point where we're trying to make all of the tooling designed into it, so we don't have to go back and tweak anything.
Gotcha.
So every time we try and update the molds, we'll add little things that we kind of help us set us apart.
So you mentioned molds. It sounds like from what you've told me before, you're now doing molds not just for Haven Defense Company, but you're now doing molds for other big name holster makers.
Yep. I think we got started selling some molds probably 2 years ago.
Okay.
Because we just needed some of our own molds, and we needed to kind of streamline the process. So we started making our own CNC molds, and then ended up somebody in one of the groups that we're with for other kydex holster makers asked asked about getting some molds, so
Boom.
we sold them some molds.
Next thing you know, you're selling molds to the
Next
biggest
thing you
names
know.
out there.
Yeah. We like to try to be humble about it, but yeah, we sell to some pretty big name holster makers out there too. So
That's pretty cool. All right. Well, want to let you know, if you can see it up on the board, their website is simply havendefenseco.com, havendefenseco.com. But you can find them there. And of course, now that you've met Brent here on the YouTube channel, despite the hair on the face, he's not the meanest, toughest. He's the toughest, not the meanest guy in the world. So he's not going to scream and yell if you call him. Give him a call. He's actually the nicest guy in the world. But really cool, especially for us in Western Colorado, right? We get to buy locally right here because this is a full-time job for you guys. In fact, it employs you, your wife, and are you doing child labor, slave labor with your kids yet?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well,
I gotta wait till the other one's old enough.
there you
I can
go.
have two.
Well, now they got a couple kids here, so maybe they can get some slave labor going here. But anyways, they run it right out of their home. And so it's an American business right here, local in Colorado, and you're supporting an incredibly good family. And he makes literally world-class gear for guns that are out there. And if you ever get a chance to buy from Brent Hickmon, I'd suggest it. And I just want to introduce him to you. So thank you for your time. Again, this is Adam Wentz, Defenders USA. Train thoughtfully. Be careful with what you do, but at the same time, gear is important, and you might as well buy good gear. So thanks for your time, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, folks. Be safe.